dog to say something dumb. I'm too drunk to play the dog.
Welcome to Hair of the Dog. I'm your host, Jonathan Wickham, and we are with the thrash, punk, metal, post-hardcore, the Cars for Kids band, now all grown up, named Lollygagger. All right, so we are about to record. We are here with some of the members of Lollygagger, not all. First, we're going to meet Mike here. Mike, get over here, because we are at your Casa de Sexo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, right?
Show us your Sexo Casa, bro.
Oh yeah, the tool room. Yeah, you need a hammer.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, look at that.
Man of little words.
This is where we keep our merch,
Nice.
and this is where we practice. Over there, we just move the couch every single time.
So you bought this, and so then you were foolish enough to turn it into a practice studio. Why would you do that?
Well, we had a practice space over on Kildare that we were sharing with like a bunch of bands, but then the pandemic happened, and I was like,
Yeah, that whole thing.
well, you guys are in my bubble, so we just started practicing here in the basement.
Tell me about your eclectic decorations.
Like, guys don't grow up; you just grow older.
Yeah.
So you decorate the house with like your shit. This is pretty fucking cool. I won this in a contest.
Oh shit.
It's signed by Against Me and Mastodon from 2007.
That's fucking awesome, dude. How'd you pull that off?
It was a raffle at the show that I went to.
Amazing. Fucking yeah, good for you. That's fucking incredible.
Matt got me that when from a Laura Jane Grace show.
Yeah.
This was from my college days when I went by White Mike.
Is that a tough name these days?
It's not a tough name because the way that I got it was being the only white kid on my high school basketball team, and then it just kind of became like my punk rock name.
That tracks, yeah.
And then when I was doing like punk rock radio shows, just kind of kept it.
Okay.
But yeah. Tim McGrath from Rise Against came into the studio and was just like, yeah, I gotta get you side this.
Fuck yes. Excellent. You have an incredible little space down here, and we're gonna make a fool of it. Are you cool with that?
Absolutely.
As previously stated, this is Hair of the Dog. I'm an asshole. We are with a band of assholes, but they are also better known as Lollygagger. Lollygagger. That's exactly how you pronounce it. If you can't pronounce it correctly, you're not allowed to go into the show. Anyway, so I'm here with Matt.
I'm Michael Sunnyside.
Kinzie.
These.
Wait, can we do that over? I feel like an asshole for saying my
Anyways, this is Chicago's most predominant, well-known, famous, decorated, rich, third runner-up in the Chicago Readers Best Of, and at least one of the people in this band has had sex with Bjork. I am a very big fan of this band. I've actually known them for a very long time, but the question is, because I've known you for a long time, what were the first two bands I knew you for?
Take a shot and we'll tell you.
There we go. So while we do a shot, thank you. I was going to lead into that right afterwards. So what we're doing is we're shooting Leatherby's Best. What this means is, fuck Malort. We're drinking best because best is better. God damn it, let's drink. Cheers to music and art and rock and roll and sex.
So me and Mike used to be in a band way back when.
Perfect.
Called the Peekaboos. And before that, we were in a band way back when we met on Craigslist in the band called the Earth Program.
Should we just bleep that one out?
Yeah, whatever you
Yeah,
want
fuck
do.
that. Fuck that band.
Anytime you meet someone on Craigslist, you gotta bleep it out. No, I mean, Earth Program's cool. Yeah. They're still doing stuff around the city. Good for them. Peekaboos is long dead.
You did compete for Chicago Readers Best Of for punk or something.
Chris is still doing his thing out there. I hope he's doing great,
I would say, give me just a general fucking foundation of what this band is, genre, sound, what you want to go for.
I feel like we get asked a lot, but really the most concise way to put it is that we are a punk band with metal aesthetics. It was tough because when Kinzie joined the band, he pretty much tied both of us to a bed and he made us listen to Venom albums for 2 weeks straight. And when we came out of that, we were like, well, we can't really be the same band, you know. We're like a rock band, we're a punk band, but we had to like sort of elevate it. And Kinzie has like a loud, pretty aggressive style, and we were like, well, we had lineup changes for a long time in Peekaboos, but let's change the band name. Let's have a new thing. It's called Lollygagger, and this guy's here.
So it was the change in the name for Peekaboos to Lollygagger because in addition to change in sound.
Yeah, and I think it was like a new era, you know, because me and Mike have been through a lot of bands, and we like held on to that band, but you know, maybe it was one of these things that we're held on too long. We need to have a new phase. But also, there was a kids band called The Peekaboos making informational songs that we were competing with on Spotify, and we were just like, you know what? It's time to try something new, you know. But
it's like once we got together, like with Kinzie, it just became a whole nother animal. Like, and so it was just like it just made perfect sense to change like what we were doing, like change the name, like all that stuff. Like it's just.
Yeah, you guys asked me to come play, and I think I showed up with what, like, and I showed up
900,000 notes.
Yeah, I just had all these ideas, and I hadn't really had an outlet for them at all, and
you wanted a more aggressive band too at the time. Like.
Yeah, and you guys had me learn your previous material, and I showed up at Kildare at that space, and we blasted those songs out, and it just went from there. It got more aggressive and fast, and it's still getting more aggressive and fast as we go.
I love like the dynamic that we have because like Kinzie's like a metalhead, like I'm like a punk rocker, like you're like you got some glam, like
I'm an auteur.
No, but like more of like an indie like vibe and like very like heartfelt and like you know you and like it's just like Kinzie like always makes us like reach to try to do something like better, like or like expand to like a more complicated way of playing songs. And
I appreciate the technicality. You know?
Yes, the technicality.
I think an important thing is of the bands that I've played in since living here, I am a bass player, but I would think it's not a traditional kind of playing bass. It's very much it's a bass line, but at the same time it's extremely melodic, and there's a lot of texture in what I'm playing. Like another band I'm playing in right now called Sprite, it's much more shoegazy and Midwest emo, but I can't not just bring this sense of like, well, we have the lead guy being noisy as shit and playing all this like sporadic, almost atonal stuff, and then the singer is doing his thing. So I don't just want to sit there and blast out root notes because just I don't want to do that. It's boring to me. It's like, you know, like everybody being like, oh, the bass player, we can't even hear him, or like that guy plays with a pick. What a fucking poser. Nah, I don't think of any of that shit.
I do love when people get mad about picking bass.
It's so dumb. It's like play with whatever you want. Just make sure whatever you're playing works and you're playing it right.
But I like for a lot of bands, I think it's kind of like, okay, well, we need a bassist. I play guitar, so I'll play bass or whatever. Like that sort of like dynamic. But like Kinzie is a fucking bassist.
Everyone grab your
trying to pull the
shots.
bullshit that I'm pulling.
Tastes like just how Mom used to make.
Ooh,
Yep, this episode's
steam's
gonna hurt.
really coming off of the room.
This episode's gonna hurt just as much as the last one.
Oh, I'm gonna sleep well.
We just released a new single called "Found in the Dirt."
What did you find in the dirt?
You wouldn't believe what we found in the dirt. But Found in the Dirt is really about, it's a song about how there's many ways to live, right? And I feel like the isms and the absolutists and the fanatics of our time are not serving us as a society. And us is like the royal us, right? It's the Star Trek us. It's humanity.
You should ask him about Clown Car.
I'm gonna ask you about Clown Car.
I mean, yeah.
I'm a good host, bro.
I know, right? Like, I got you.
I don't want to. Yeah,
We got
yeah.
this shit.
I mean, Clown Car was an interesting thing because, like, part of the pandemic was George Floyd. Like, we all remember like what that was about. Like, and I try not to like talk too much about it because like I don't want to ever like profit or anything about it. But like, yeah, like there was a lot of shit going on during that time. We forget it was the pandemic, you know. But like every night on Twitch, like they would stream like racial justice protests across the United States, and like I didn't have shit to do, and I was interested in political theory, period. So I was always watching those. I would regularly be going to protests and like marching protests in Chicago about stuff, and like they would protest at Lori Lightfoot's house. And one day, Mad Kid Good City would go out and they would protest, and there some fucking shit went down, and I saw a cop car like drive its way through a crowd of people, like a crowd of kids, you know, and it was emotionally interesting for me to see that, you know. I watched them drive up and down and just happen to miss black people who were at the protest randomly as dissenters, you know, and it was strange, you know. And then the day after, police from the Chicago Police Department showed up at my work and told me that someone had smashed the window and they had taken dire action to extricate themselves from the crowd. And I was like, motherfucker, I was there. I watched you like drive a cop car through a bunch of people, like, and like I'm blanking on his name, but there's a gentleman, Robert, from Texas, who does Behind the Bastards podcast, and he would always live stream a lot of things.
I love that fucking podcast.
I can't remember the name of the guy, but like I was watching one of his streams from the first time. Robert Evans, thank you very much. But he, Bob Evans. Shout out to Bob Evans as well, because that's where we always stop for sausage on the road.
That's where we get lunch on tour.
But I remember, like, there were
Podcast is great.
and there was a crowd of people who were at the State House, and they were getting rowdy for sure. You have to be real about the situation, right? You don't want to have bullshit. You don't want to be Rachel Maddow, and you don't want to be Tucker Carlson. You want to be real about the situation. People at this protest were getting rowdy. They were shaking the steel fence.
There's no
Withering reason
anymore.
There were water bottles being thrown in the air, but then the Portland Police Department tear gassed those folks. And Robert Evans very calmly helped guide people out of there, but the police chased them and started tear gassing the town square, where this was before the pandemic was in effect. And so people were out going to lunch, people were going to dinner, people were having drinks, regular citizens, and the police were tear gassing the town square where people were just driving about on their day. And this is the first time I've like really witnessed my government on live stream suppressing protests and also affecting other citizens who weren't even involved. They just happened to be there. And I remember this was the moment I was truly radicalized. So I've read a lot of political theory. I've seen a lot of things happen. I've been a privileged white person growing up in the United States in a parallel time where a lot of weird things were going on. But like, it's like, this may not be the free state that we thought we were living in. So I started just showing up and marshaling and helping organizing podcasts, or I'm sorry, helping organize protests and things like that. And then watch a fucking cop car drive through a bunch of like teenagers basically. And I was like, what the fuck is this? How could this happen? And then people showed up on my work next day to be like, we pretty much had to do it. We were in danger. And I was like, no, you fucking weren't, motherfuckers. Like,
you're the only strapped ass motherfuckers obviously around. You're in danger.
You fucking weren't.
right. But like,
No.
I don't know. It was weird. But like, I'm not the person who's at risk from this. I'm not the person who's threatened by this. I'm the person who will be safe no matter what. So it's a precocious place to be. And as Mike cleverly put it, it's like, Matt, you realize you wrote a racial justice protest song on the ones and threes in terms of the accent beat, which is a very white person thing to do. But I don't know. It was a very interesting time. And I think a lot of Total Party Kill is about the generalized concept of the oppression of authority throughout history. Some of it is about our time living now, you know, and we always like to have a little bit of humor and a little bit of levity about it, but it's not always fun and games, you know. And we are, to like reiterate, like, we are not the victims of this. Like, we are not the people who are on the receiving end of the viciousness.
It doesn't mean we shut the fuck up.
No, and it's like, yo, if you're a white person, like, don't fucking say shit to like people of color, because they know. But you gotta say things to like white people and be like, yo, like, hey, what the fuck are we doing? Like, Biden's not the ultimate solution, but he's not like a fascist who's trying to bring about a non-democratic state, and maybe there's incremental steps towards a democratic future that we can, step by step approach. And it's a little bit of malarkey, I'll admit. It's a little bit of malarkey.
Pantera. We're drinking, having a good time. We're with the band. This band was was third place. Alan, get control of your camera. Put it on our faces.
Third place.
This band was
Everybody shout
third place. And Chicago Reader's Best of for Punk Band.
We were born for it.
Goddamn right. Who actually won? I didn't check.
Boll Weevils. We're really
the fucking Boll Weevils. Of course, the Boll Weevils.
Of course.
No, they're fucking great. I love Daryl. Like, that dude has been, like, such an awesome dude to me for so many years. Longer than I've known Matt.
It's true.
I met that dude when I was doing the radio shit in college. He's always been a doctor.
Literally.
1877 cars for kids. I want to know, what is the future of Lollygagger? Where are we at right now? I know we've kind of danced around the fact that we have a new album, but I don't think I did a good enough justification of that.
Tell me. Album. We're going to be touring. We're going to be out of this city and playing music.
Hell yeah.
We're also going to be playing in this city, and we're going to
Fuck shit up.
I think the future of this band is doing a lot of what we've already been doing, but to just a more poignant 100%. You know what I mean?
I think
we want you to come out. We want you to enjoy. We want you to tell your friends. We want them to come out. It's a lot of word of mouth. It's a lot of getting in front of people. We want you to be there, and we want you to be a part of it.
I think Total Party Kill was us showing the total capacity of our expenditure of energy as young men. But I think the next album that's going to come out, Smorgasbord, is going to be a real empathetic, emotional experience that's tempered with the technical expertise of our musicality.
But it's still gonna rock.
And I'm excited. Yeah.
What would you say to the next generation that is feeling shit way different than we've ever expected and still wants to make work?
I'd say life has been hard since the dawn of the Sumerians. Don't give that shit up and keep fighting against the tide. Let's do a shot and let's close this out. I
Let's
hope
do a
this
shot.
netted you at least 12 to 14 minutes of usable footage.
Those are my
Hair of the Dog is about love, representation. I keep doing this even though everyone tells me not
Mike
to.
took a shot
because
too
I
early.
Really
Mike, you want a shot?
I want to showcase the people I love and the people who try really hard regardless of all the stakes of nonsense of life. Life is hard.
You know what?
Love the
All
people
of us
around
are
you.
old. This
You know
whole
what?
group
Never
of
give
fucks
up on
is...
the nonsense.
All power to the editor.
It's all nonsense.
We do it anyways. And also, cheers.
It's all nonsense, and we do it anyways.
Damn right.
Fuck it.
Put a ball gag in.
Put a ball gag in.
Kiss your mom on the mouth.
No.